All right, welcome, bitches, to the Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. I'd like to welcome Alicia Tressider. Did I say
Tresidder.
it right? Tressider.
Tresidder.
See, I told you I'd fuck up her name. There's a previous podcast I was talking about you. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna fuck up her name. So one more time, tell everybody your name.
Alicia Tressider.
And so tell us a little bit about you, Alicia. Where you from? What do you do? Where were you born? Things like that. Let's start from the beginning. So just so you know, bitches, we're gonna do a 3 or 4 series episode on her life because I think it's very fascinating. But go ahead.
So I was born in Modesto. I moved a lot. Um, I was born in Modesto. Have a older sister and an older brother. Went through a lot of trauma growing up. I would have to say my first memory after was probably about 3 when I had my first memory, and that was when my father passed away, and I was at his funeral.
Mhm.
A lot of people think it's weird that at 3 you can remember those things.
I don't think it's
Um,
weird.
and I remember the casket. There was 21 pink balloons, and I was wearing a
Mhm.
sailor dress with
Yeah,
my Mary Janes
yeah.
and
I
white
don't
stockings.
see. Does it? Even though you were young, you said you were 3, and you
Hmm.
seem to me you seem to remember very vividly. Do you feel that it
Hmm.
traumatized you at all? Is it trauma? Is it a trauma type memory, or it's just a memory since you didn't know him that well?
I think it was just a memory. I think what traumatized me is I remember visiting him in the hospital before he passed away.
Hmm.
And
What
because
did
he
he pass
missed
away
my
from?
third, he passed away from hepatitis D. He
D.
was, yeah, he was a heroin
Hepatitis
addict.
D. Mm.
Yeah, he was a heroin addict. He got a dirty needle.
Oh shit.
He had went on a binge, and this is, of course, what I was told later. But I remember visiting him in the hospital. He was in ICU, and I remember back then they used to give you like nice looking pants, in the hospital
Mm.
pants, and they had like a
Right, right,
really pretty teardrop. And also back then, you used to be able to smoke in the hospital.
right.
But I
How long ago
remember
was
because
this?
I remember the
You
smell.
ain't that damn old. How old is this? How long ago was this?
That was 1983. I'm 40. I just turned
19.
44.
Damn, you old.
I'm old and I'm loving it and I'm owning it. It's
That's
okay.
good though.
I've earned my stripes. But
Yeah.
I remember being there and visiting him, and because he missed my third birthday, and then I remember he was in isolation. And so he gave me my gift, and it was a Mr. Potato Head.
Oh,
And I was just so excited. Shortly after that, I would say what traumatized me is I had to go, and it's sad that it's not sad. It is, but it isn't.
right.
I had to go get testing. So my mom
Mm.
and I both had to get testing weekly for hepatitis.
Mm.
And this lasted, I don't remember how long it lasted, but it traumatized me. I hated needles after that. I mean,
Right,
many people hate needles. Well, the reason I
right.
hate needles is because of that. And then I had to go through and get all the vaccinations, and then but the testing was just ridiculous.
How
It
and
was
you
very
how long did
rigorous.
how long did you have to do it for? I want to know if it
six
was rigorous
months.
because back then we weren't savvy about hepatitis, or maybe that's just the way. Because I don't know. Is it like that today?
I
See what I
don't know
mean?
because no, you're right. So back then, what they did, we had to do it for first set was 3 months, and then we had to do 3 more months. So it was a total of
See,
6 months that we had to constantly get tested. And now, no, what they just do a titer now.
yeah, that's what I mean. I bet you back
Yeah,
then we probably just didn't understand it. Because
didn't
I'm looking
know.
here, hepatitis D spreads by blood products, unclean needles, or unscreened blood. I think a lot of older people are starting to pop up because we didn't really screen back in the day when old people
Right,
got blood transfusions. By having
right.
unprotected vaginal, anal, or oral sex, or by mother to baby, by pregnancy, labor, nursing. So maybe that's why they made you do it because you were so young, and I'm
Mhm,
sure. Yeah, I get that.
mhm. Yeah.
That's crazy, huh? Yeah.
It absolutely was. And so it was traumatic because I mean, I was 3, and then he started convulsing, and then he died shortly thereafter.
Mm.
So he was only 21 when he passed away. Um, and then seeing the things growing up, we were living at my grandpa's, and there was weird people in the house, and there were fights. It was interesting to watch fights, like things that
Like
young
physical fights?
physical fights.
Right. Right, right,
Things that young kids should not see,
right.
and I mean, these people are full on just brawling. And I was always the one that was like, I was standing back, like, I don't, just watching these people, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't, I remember my uncle coming over though, my dad's uncle coming over, and he's like, "Hey, come here," and he moved me from the situation, and he's like, "How are you?" And he had a diesel. He was a big rig driver,
Right.
and he was like, "Oh, look at this," and I was like, "Oh, this is cool," and it distracted me. So then I didn't have to see that because the police came and stuff, and so it was interesting growing up in Modesto. I mean, I lived in a lot of different areas of Modesto. One of them was called Airport District, um, which is now the like nobody goes to Airport District unless you know somebody or you live there.
Why is that, like the hood where all the gangs
Yeah,
are or where all the
it's
shootings
the
are?
yep, it is the
Hooker
hood.
Hill, and
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah, but back
Can I
then,
go get a
my
hooker for like $5 or $10?
pretty much you probably get for a dime. But in mad respect to my people in Airport District, but my grandma and grandpa, they built their house there, and so that was the place. I
Are they
remember
still there?
snapping. They both passed. The house is
Mm.
still there. I drove by,
All right.
which is like the size of a garage, but the
Crazy, isn't it?
fond it is. And so I remember sitting on the porch and snapping peas with grandma and all of that, and helping in the garden, and those playing with my cousins and my sister, my brother, and everybody just hanging out. It was
So you
nice.
told Yeah, so you told me that you were born in Modesto in
Mhm.
1980. You told me but you moved around a lot. You said you moved to Sonora, California. I think you
Yeah.
said Arizona, and what was the other place? Georgia.
Georgia.
So
Mhm.
talk about those places a little bit. Why did you move to Sonora and all these different places? Why did you move a lot? I asked you if you were a
So
military brat.
no, I wish. I wish I was. No. So we moved a lot. There was a lot of evictions because my mother had a gambling addiction.
Now, does your mama know?
And
Is your mom still alive? Can I ask that?
yes, she is.
Is she gonna be mad at you talking about this shit?
I don't care.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I gotta ask because some people might get their feelings hurt, and
Yeah, no, she knows that she has a gambling issue, and
mm,
but
still,
that's what yes.
all
But
right.
with her phone now. So, that's she likes to play her games on the phone, and that's her money and her life, and she can do what she wants, and I love her for who she is, and it doesn't matter. But that's why we moved a lot. We moved a
But
lot
look at you.
because
You look at you though. You said and I don't mean to interrupt, but you said
no, you're
you
good.
grew up in a fucked up way. How you know that she
Yeah,
didn't grow in a fucked up way, and maybe that's
she
her
did.
way of dealing with how she grew up and shit. You know what I
And that's
mean?
exactly it. And that's exactly what happened. And I found out later, the stuff that she had gone through. Some of it I remember, and some of it, she's told me, and I'm like, well, I get that, but we have to make a healthier choice. And I tell her that I'm like, you just have to be mindful. As long as your bills are paid, okay, you do what you want.
Right.
But and that was something that was self-taught. I wasn't taught finances. I wasn't taught how to manage my money. I
Right.
wasn't. And
I don't
case in
think any of
point,
us are. That's why we're. I don't think
yeah,
any of us grew up that way. They took all that shit out of school, and that's why we're fucked up financially because nobody
right.
teaches us how to manage our money and stuff. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah.
so we moved up to Sonora. I love Sonora. My stepdad, he was amazing. He was very influential and taught stability and safety. And he just kind of went with the flow the best that he could because my mama wore the pants in the family, and that was
I
okay.
think most women do.
Yeah. and that was
Men love
okay.
pussy, so
And
we do whatever you tell us to do.
right. I told I even told him, I said, you could divorce her, right? And I'll go with you.
Yeah,
And
but
he
that pussy
goes,
must have
I
been
love
good.
her. It was that good.
Yeah,
I was like, shit
right.
must have been made with gold. I don't know, but go ahead, you do you, boo. But he
Uh,
taught me stability, and he taught me it was important to get an education. I was the first to graduate high school in my
mm.
family. And
Was he a high school
so
graduate? Your stepdad?
yes.
Right.
Yes. He wanted to go into the service, but he blew out his knee.
Mm.
So that didn't happen. But yeah, he graduated high school. He did a little bit of college, and stuff. So he was my definitely my biggest
Cheerleader.
supporter,
Mm.
cheerleader, supporter. He went to all of the things that I had done. We moved back and forth. So we moved up to Sonora. We were up there for the longest time. And then we moved to Patterson, and then we moved to Georgia. So we went all
Where?
the way
Where?
across country.
What about Arizona?
Well, Arizona was after
After
Georgia.
Georgia? All right, so let's go
Hmm.
to Georgia. Where in Georgia?
Brunswick, Georgia. My
I
uncle
don't know
still
what.
lives there.
You
Brunswick,
keep going.
Georgia
You keep
is,
going. I'm gonna look it up on the map and shit while you keep telling us
yeah.
about Georgia.
So Brunswick, Georgia is right off of St. Simon's Island. It's about 20 to 30 minutes, I want to say, from Jacksonville and south of Savannah.
Oh yeah, it's like in a
Georgia,
little cove and shit. That'd been nice.
yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It was
Well, why the fuck
beautiful.
did you leave that damn place? Look at this place. Shit. I want to move to Brunswick, Georgia. This is nice.
I It's
Oh, it's right
gorgeous.
off the
So,
fucking coast and shit.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, it's like in a
So,
little it's like in a little, I don't know what do you call that, like a little not a peninsula, but like a
it's like
uh,
Monterey.
yeah, it's nice.
It's like Monterey, like that
What the fuck? I would have
peninsula.
stayed there. Mama used to go back to California. I'm fucking staying here. Who did
So
you move with?
I moved with my mom and my stepdad, my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, my uncles, three of the uncles, and my sister. So we all moved.
And how old were you then?
I was 10, 11,
All
10 or
right.
11 when we moved there. I remember I was in fifth grade. Um, and it was when we moved there shortly after, I remember Hurricane Hugo came through.
Oh
That
yeah, I
was
remember that.
crazy.
You making me fucking
Um,
feel old and shit.
because you are, how old are you?
I just turned 55 last December, see?
Oh, see, you sitting here saying I'm old. Okay. You're the same age as my husband, so you're
I'm
fine.
a
I call
senior
him old
citizen now.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get
tell
that senior discount.
what's your husband's name?
John.
Tell John I'm fucking pissed off because we can't even get a fucking senior citizen discount at Denny's no more or the movies because they moved it to 62.
Shut up.
See, and by the time him and I become 62, they'll fucking move it to 65 or some
I
shit.
know. This is so true. So true.
Bullshit, man.
Oh, I tell you. But Georgia was beautiful. I really liked Georgia. I learned a lot. We called it Woods. I met a lot of amazing people. Dealt with a lot of diversity. So I am the
What
darkest
do you
in my
mean by the
family.
diversity?
Well, people thought that I was in Georgia. They're still stuck in the old ways.
Right,
And my uncle and my sister could not be seen with me because I looked mixed.
right.
And
Are you mixed?
I am mixed. I'm half Thai and half white.
So what
Um,
is your what? So what could you not? What kind of people live in Georgia?
well, there's a lot of African American people,
Hmm.
and they were great to me. I had a couple that wanted to
Right,
fight
but
me.
all the old white people,
All the old white people,
the
and a lot of,
plantation owners,
yes, and oh my god, the plantations were absolutely gorgeous and
right,
beautiful. Um, but I remember, and it happened to be our neighbor.
right.
She was friends with my sister, and then she thought I was a cousin or something, or adopted. Everybody thought I was adopted. We'll get into that one. But everybody thought I
Well,
was
because
adopted.
we don't have no Asian people here in Georgia.
Right.
What's that little Asian girl here doing in Georgia and shit?
Yeah, and
Y'all must
they
adopted
didn't.
her to help her out.
I'm telling you, they didn't like it. My sister got stabbed with a pencil in the
Well,
hallway.
shit.
I had my biggest one of my memories. The neighbor girl decided to start a fight with me. So I was in and out of the hospital in Georgia because I kept getting pneumonia because of the
Mm,
humidity.
oh shit.
So it would either be both bilateral lungs were filled 25, 50%, one lung would be 50% filled with fluid. I was getting pneumonia on a weekly basis.
All right. Hold on one sec.
And
Hold on one sec.
mhm.
Hold on one sec. I got a technical difficulty here. For some reason, my computer is frozen and shit. What the fuck? I think my computer's trying to update while we doing this shit. Cause that's
Oh,
frozen. Can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
Yeah, cause I can't do shit. Like my computer's like technically frozen here.
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
I know you can't. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. This motherfucker making me crazy and shit.
There you go. I can see you now.
What the fuck? All right, let me close some shit down. I'm sorry, Jane, if we fuck shit up. Let me
He
close
did
some of
it.
my I probably did. And I'm closing some of my windows and shit down to make sure that fucking the 21st century and we can't even have fucking internet that works correctly and shit. I know, but it's crazy. Like the Japanese put a fucking satellite in the sky and they got like 1,000 megabyte speed internet all across Japan and shit. We're supposed
Hmm.
to be the greatest country in the world. We can't fucking put a satellite for internet for people and shit that work correctly. It's crazy though. It's nuts.
It is. It
All right,
is.
so I'm sorry. Let's go back
It's
to where you
okay.
were. I didn't mean to fuck you up.
No, you're good. So I was in and out of the hospital with pneumonia. So
But I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. How the fuck you get pneumonia from the humidity?
so okay.
That
So
don't make
when
sense. I don't believe it. While you're talking,
I
I'm gonna
know
Google that shit because that don't make
that's
fucking
go
sense to
ahead,
me.
Google it. This is
That
what
don't
the
make sense.
doctors told my mom.
I think the
So
doctor's full of shit.
that could be. So I always had a very weak immune system. My tonsils when I was born were the size of a man's fist, and they
This
had
fucking
to.
article's from the 1980s too. The weather and
See,
deaths from pneumonia. I don't know if I believe that shit though.
I'm living proof. So
Yeah, but
okay,
I don't know if
so
that's true. But you keep going. I'm
I
calling
will.
bullshit.
You go ahead. So I always had a weak immune system, so they had to wait till I was 3 because back in the 80s, they wouldn't do surgery on children until they were 3. Well, at least they wouldn't remove my tonsils until I was 3.
Mm.
So I kept aspirating and getting aspiration pneumonia and couldn't breathe and all this and that. So anyways, so when we were in Georgia, I know I kept getting pneumonia. And so I remember I broke my ankle. We were playing in the gym, and this kid, Jerome, stuck his foot out while I was running around. We were running corners. He stuck
You're
his
like a
foot out
magnet to you're like a
on
magnet to people who want to fuck you up.
I tell you. And I stepped, oh my gosh, I snapped my ankle. And I remember he got in trouble. He had to carry my books, he had to carry my lunch tray, he had to walk me to my class. I had a cast on my leg up to my knee. And that was before you had to put a garbage bag on your foot, if you wanted to get into the water.
Right, right,
We'd
right.
go to St. Simon's Island and we would get in the water and they had to put a black trash bag around my leg. That was fun. But anyhow, we had a good time. I got in my first fight in Georgia with the neighbor girl. Um, but it was beautiful. We went to Savannah. Savannah has an amazing train museum. Oh, it's gorgeous. And the plantations, absolutely beautiful. And just diving into the culture and the food. Oh my gosh, the
Right,
food was amazing. It
right.
was the first time I ever had I remember having gator. We had
Oh
alligator
yeah.
tail
I love
sandwiches.
alligator tail, yeah.
Oh my
That shit's good.
gosh.
People that's
So good.
good. Right. You ever eat
So
chitlins?
good. Yes.
Greens?
Mhm.
Mustard greens,
Mhm.
right?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You ever eat
I
boudin?
loved it. Oh, I love boudin balls. Come
See?
on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, see, so
So
that's good.
I
But so
love
you
that.
moved from Georgia to Arizona so you could go from the
Yes,
humidity to the dry to dry out your lungs and shit?
pretty much. So
I'm still calling bullshit. Did you have pneumonia? Did you have pneumonia when you went to Arizona?
no.
What the fuck?
So we moved from Georgia and went to Arizona. I don't even know why we moved, but we moved. To be honest. And
Because
then my
your mama
grandma
got
still
tired of taking
stayed.
your ass to the hospital.
She did. She did. So then we moved to Arizona. My sister was still in Georgia. So me, my mom, and my dad,
Wait,
my
who'd your
stepdad
sister live
moved.
with?
She lived with my grandma, with my Mima.
The one that moved to Georgia with you?
Hmm.
Is that the same grandma and grandpa that owned the house in Modesto?
Yes.
All right, all right.
And so,
Why
well,
didn't you
no,
stay?
the one in Modesto was my great grandma.
Oh, I
This
got you.
was my grandma. So
So
they
let me ask you
stayed.
this: since your sister stayed there with your grandma and grandpa, did she turn out better or worse than you, or the same?
We I think we
And I
turned
don't
out
mean
the
better or
same.
worse, like
No,
in
you're good.
yeah,
No, no,
but
no.
you know what I mean?
We
Like you still stayed in a kind of a fucked up situation, even though you had stability with your stepdad. But
Yeah.
was your grandma and grandpa more stable than where you were at? See?
That damn. Okay,
No, but you
so
get what I mean?
I do. I do.
Because my
So
big, well, you think about this. Because my biggest regret, I have an older son, and I don't want to shame him or anything, but my older son he was a heroin addict.
mhm,
You know, he always blames me and shit. And maybe I am partly responsible because I moved around a lot in the army and shit. My biggest regret was not leaving him with my mother, who was stable. She lived in one place. She never fucking went anywhere else. You know, she was stable. You know what I
mhm,
mean? She had a job, she had a house, but me, I moved around, I drank, I cursed, and I probably fucked them up a little bit because I was a young kid and shit. So that's why I
right.
wonder, was your grandparents more stable than what you had and shit? Because you know, moving around a lot can fuck people up.
So we're gonna get into this then. We're gonna get into this. Here we
All
go.
right.
Are you
No, no, I
ready?
mean we don't have to do it now, but I'm just
Okay.
asking and
No,
shit
but
because I
no,
haven't finished asking all these other questions yet.
I
So,
know. Okay, so then we could either table that. So yes, it was better, but it wasn't better at the same time.
all right. So we'll
So
talk about it later then. All right,
yeah.
I get you. All right, all right, all right.
Oh,
So
I'll
let's
fill
go.
in those blanks.
All right, let's
You're
go. All
gonna
right,
love
so
it.
so
You're
let's
gonna
go
love
on.
it.
So we went from Georgia to Arizona.
Yes, so we went to Georgia to Arizona. So me, my mom, and my stepdad, and that was great. And we stayed in the same place, which was nice. Got to know a lot of people, which ironic. So we got to know a lot of people. Loved Arizona. I loved the weather, the sunsets, the sunrise, the activities, everything.
So then why the
My
fuck did you
heart
move?
is 100% in Arizona.
Then
Well,
why did
so
you
then
move?
we we went back to Georgia because we
Oh,
had to get my grandmother
mm,
from her
that's for
abusive
the next episode.
relationship. It will definitely be for the next episode. So we go back to Georgia. We got my sister and my grandma and my uncle Curry, and we came back to Arizona. We brought them back with us.
What happened to your grandpa?
He's still in Georgia.
Oh, okay, all right.
Georgia laws are different.
I know, I
Georgia
know,
laws are different.
I know.
So
People don't believe
we
this, but there's still laws on the books in the South where you can't
yes.
marry. I know, but like if I married a black woman or if a black guy married a white woman, it's illegal.
Mm,
You can't have anal sex. It's
yeah.
illegal.
It's
You can't
not
suck a dick. That's illegal. Look,
right, and
Florida
it's
today, 2024, Florida. You can't even say the word gay.
oh, good thing we're in California.
It's
But
crazy, right? Like,
in Georgia, it is not wrong. Here's a fun fact. In Georgia, it is not wrong for a husband to hit his wife.
oh, even today,
Yeah.
is it still on the
So,
books?
yeah.
That's crazy, huh?
I
Come here, let me
know.
hit you, woman. Let me hit you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went back to Arizona and then we stayed there for gosh, we were still there for a long time. My sister met her now husband.
Mm,
They're still married, still together. I knew him before her because I went to school with his siblings. So
mm.
that's amazing. and we're all still they still treat me like
So you're saying
family.
your sister was a cock blocker? She stole a nice guy, and
Oh, no. He was
what
way
the?
older than me. I was good. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Ah,
I'm
well,
good.
look at me. Well,
They
your husband's 10 years older than you. Apparently, you
Oh,
like old
yes.
men.
Well, not then
See?
I didn't. Not then I didn't. I was like, "Oh, no." But, then we left Arizona. My sister stayed with her boyfriend, now husband, and we went to Groveland. We had to move from Arizona. I
What
had
the
gotten
fuck is
in with
Groveland?
Groveland is here in California. It's, north
Oh
of
shit!
Sonora. Groveland,
Oh,
California.
never heard of that fucking place.
I had
Groveland,
gotten
Cal.
I'd gotten into the wrong crowd in
I can't
Arizona.
imagine why.
Yeah, so uh, it was
There's a
time to
Groveland,
go.
Florida, too.
Oh,
Groveland, California. I don't see a Groveland. GRO, like, oh yeah, there it is.
yeah.
Unincorporated. It is near Chinese camps, Nellens. No, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I got you. So, oh,
Yeah.
Angels camps on the other side,
Mhm.
395. I got you. All
Yeah.
right.
So we went to Groveland and then we
So
went
you were a
back
mountain
down.
girl.
Oh, yes, 100%. Because we lived a lot in Sonora. Like I went to high school in Sonora. Then when my mom moved us, we didn't it's like the timeline, like Arizona was part of elementary, middle school. Georgia was elementary. Then when we moved to Arizona, it was finishing elementary, then middle school. Then it was we went to Groveland, staying in a trailer on my aunt's property. Then we went to Sonora. Um and then we moved back down to Modesto my junior year of high school. That's
And you
really the only
graduated in and you graduated in Modesto.
I
Graduated
did.
high school in Modesto.
I did.
Mm.
I ended up doing I went to Thomas Elliott for my senior year because I became pregnant. Um
How old
I
were you when you got pregnant?
I was 17 when I got
Mm-hmm.
pregnant with my first. Um
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that was with my I had met him when I was 16. I got pregnant at 17.
I know, but it fits the
Um
picture because your
yeah.
mom and dad seem to probably got pregnant young.
Yeah.
I don't know
My
how
mom was
educated they
15.
were. Yeah, I don't know how educated they were or were not. There was a lot of
Mhm.
drama and stress in your life, so you didn't have good resources. So
Yeah.
you the cycle wasn't
It
broken. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I
And
get you.
so him and I so I changed to independent studies. I'd moved out of the
You're
house
one of
when I was
those students.
17. I am. I am. My senior year I went to independent studies because I started having complications with the pregnancy.
Mm.
I moved
Maybe
out of
from the
my mom.
humidity.
Stop. No. And then so I did that, and then I ended up at 20 weeks losing my son.
Oh shit! I
Um,
didn't know that. You never told me that. Wait, say that one more time. Let's back up again. Say that again.
so my first pregnancy was at 17. I went to independent studies because I was
I
having
know, but you said at
complications.
20 weeks.
20 weeks
Mm.
pregnant. I I found out I had a boy,
Hmm.
and he had no heartbeat, and I
Shit.
ended up
See, you never
losing
told me that.
him.
How does
Yeah.
that? How does that? How does that affect you today?
Oh, it still affects me. His name would have been Andrew.
Mm.
Um, and he would be 28 in September.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Does it
And
still bother
so
you? Does it still hold
it
on to
does.
that?
I do. I do. I do still hold on to
See,
it.
it's weird because women, you're attached to the baby. It's part of you. Men wouldn't probably think second twice about it, but
Yeah.
women,
No,
we
my
don't, and we don't.
ex-husband, he's still attached. He's
Is
still.
that right? Is
Mhm.
that right?
Mhm.
Do you think that
Mhm.
caused any problems in your relationship?
It
That issue
did.
right there? Yeah.
It did. It definitely did. I mean, we were young. We got married when I was 18 after I graduated high school. I refused to marry him until I graduated high school.
Mm.
I got to speak at my graduation. I was asked
Mm.
to do a speech.
Don't
Um,
fucking have sex and get pregnant before you graduate. Is that what
Yeah,
you told the kids?
pretty much.
Don't be a fool.
You
Wrap your
know,
tool.
yeah, exactly. And we got married, and kind of it started from there. Right after I we got married, our it changed. Everything kind of changed from
So
there.
So I'm gonna ask you a different question. I'm gonna change. We'll get into that too, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
change. So, how did your family cope with the challenges of the eviction and homelessness? Because you said you were homeless. We talked about this off screen. You said you were
yeah.
homeless. So, how did your family cope with the challenges of all the evictions and the homelessness, and how did it affect the family dynamics?
So
And was your stepdad with you when you got evicted, or was it before him?
yes. No, he was with us. We lived in the back of a Pinto, and we would sleep next to the railroad tracks because it was bright. Um,
And he's
and
still
then,
with your mama.
yeah,
Damn,
yeah. Wait,
that's a
and
man
so
right there.
I know. Then we lived in Apex Motel next to Yosemite Lanes in Modesto. But the family, my mom never. So my sister got to stay with my grandma, but my mom always kept me with her. She didn't let me go stay with the grandparents while we were going through it. So
Maybe because she
they
was so worried about yours being sick and ill, and maybe she felt like she could take better care of you and keep an eye on you.
yeah,
Maybe that's a
yeah.
motherly instinct. At least she
It
didn't leave your
definitely,
ass.
she didn't leave me. Exactly. And so, it changed it because then everybody was giving kind of tough love, which I see now. And
Wait,
I
what do you
still
mean
had
tough love? You giving tough love or her giving tough love?
no, so
What do you mean by that?
the family, like the grandparents were giving my mom and my dad tough love, like, we're not going to bail you out. You guys need to figure this out.
Oh, I got you.
We can't keep giving you money. We can't keep doing this
But
because
you
you
say
guys
your
need to
dad, but do you
figure it
mean your
out.
stepdad or your real dad?
My stepdad. Sorry.
So, but
Yeah.
I mean, what does he do? I mean, what was he doing at the time? How come he didn't
Um
put her in check? Look at me. You were in Georgia. He could have hit her ass and shit. I'm just
I
teasing everybody. Don't get
know.
fucking crazy. It's a joke. All right. But I'm
No,
just curious why he didn't like listen, motherfucker. We gotta get our shit together.
yeah, they got into a lot of fights, and then finally he put his foot down. He says, "This isn't a way to raise her. This isn't a home that she should be living in. And this is not going to happen anymore." And so he was working and everything, and so we got a place. We lived there for the longest time. It was nice to have a stability,
Right.
you know so that worked out, and then things just started changing where we weren't living in a car anymore, living in the motel, and eating out, eating at
That's
Happy
because he
Steak.
stood up and became a man and said, "Listen, we ain't doing this shit no more.
Yes,
You pussy good,
exactly.
but it ain't that motherfucking good."
Yeah, we can't do
I know,
this
but
to
sometimes
her.
it's hard because if he wasn't raised a certain way, I mean, if he was raised a certain way and didn't have any male role models to to
Yeah.
learn how to
No,
deal with this shit.
he had an amazing family. So my
So then, why do
grandfather,
you think he put up with so much
I
shit?
well, he was the
I gotta see a
kid.
picture of your mama when she was young. I gotta see this.
I have one. I have one. I'll
I
show
need to
you.
see how hot she is and shit. Cause like, fuck me. I mean, I've been through a lot of
She
shit too. I put up with a lot of shit as a dude, so
Yeah,
I get it. I'm not
and
mad
he
at him. I get it.
did.
We're
He
stupid. We
did.
do stupid shit for y'all guys.
And I would tell him, like, "Why are you doing this? Why?" But he started seeing, and he says, "No, this isn't okay. This isn't okay." And so he put his foot down, and my mom didn't want to lose him, so she listened to what he
But
had to say.
do you ever talk to him now about it and ask him what the fuck he was thinking?
He passed away 3
Mm.
months before I graduated from nursing school.
Oh shit. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
I know,
It's
but
all
still,
right.
like you need a fucking cleansing and shit.
Like, dude,
We
we
need to
ain't
do a
even
cleansing on we need to
we
do a
ain't
cleansing
even
on your ass and shit.
I'm telling you, we ain't even tapped into it all yet. But
That's crazy as shit.
I think it brought us together. I mean, we went to the church. The churches had the food boxes and that
Right.
imitation cheese and
That
the
was my favorite.
juices. I love
Hmm.
remember the little jug juices? Oh, those
We
are
didn't have that when
bomb.
I grew up. We only had the
Oh,
cheese, the beans, the rice, and
uh-huh.
powdered milk.
Yep.
We
Love
didn't
that
have juice
powdered
back
milk. It
then.
was really good on your Cheerios.
That
There's
was
nothing
fucking
wrong with
nasty as
it.
fuck.
I used to eat
Oh yeah, we
Tang
had Tang too. That's right.
sandwiches. Did you ever
Yeah,
put
we
it
did
on
get
toast?
no, but we did
All you
have
gotta
Tang.
do the butter.
I just drank it. Yeah, We did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We got butter, cheese,
Uh-huh.
rice, and beans and powdered milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't have juice and shit
Yeah.
back then, so that's
So
true.
we they started doing the jug juice. Oh, the jug
Jug
juice.
juice.
Oh, it was
That sounds
good.
like syrup.
It was so
You
good.
know
You
what
can get it at
scissor. I
this.
don't know how you say it. You know what I mean. It's the
Yeah.
Kool Aid
Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell what is it they put in Kool Aid, some type of alcohol and a cough syrup.
Oh, oh,
You don't know about that?
what do they call
That's
it?
the
I
shit that
do
the
know what you're
fucking
talking about.
people. That's the shit that people would get high on. It's like Kool Aid,
I
cough
heard about
syrup,
that.
and you never heard about that?
No, I have, but I forget
I
what
don't
it's
remember how they
called.
call it. Syrup, scissors. I don't remember what they call it, but it would
I
get you
don't
fucked up.
either. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Hey,
But
look,
so
that's what I heard anyway.
yeah, yes, that's what we heard. But yeah, no, we it I think it brought us close. You know, going through those hard times, it creates a bond. Whether it's a
Crazy
healthy
bomb with who?
bond,
Because
you know,
look at
with
me.
my mom
I went
and
through the same kind of shit you did, but I did not have a bond with my mother. We didn't talk forever and shit because I was very resentful about it. Like I didn't talk to her. Now my biggest regret now is looking back, being old. I can see that she probably came from a fucked up background, and I didn't know how to
mhm,
deal with it. Now that I wish I'd have known, so we could have these conversations, but I did not have a
right?
bond. I had more of a bond with my dad, even though he left us. I don't. It's weird
Yeah.
as shit. Like him and I were like this, but my mother
Mhm.
and I were like. So I don't get that shit.
So I'm
So
definitely a daddy's girl, but one of the things that it taught me is there's that family bond. It's like no matter what, because I couldn't make friends because I didn't know if I was moving.
yeah, I didn't
So
make
I
friends
just kind of
either.
kept to myself, and because I didn't know, am I going to be here tomorrow? Am I going to be here next week? I don't know, and so I didn't want to get close to people, and so it just taught me that you will always have family, and you will
Sorry.
always have family, and that's
See,
because
I didn't think.
that
I didn't even
that was
think
my
that way.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe that's. I know I'm not being sick. Maybe that's a woman thing because I didn't even think about. I didn't even have a sense of family and shit. Not at all.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't. Were you and your sister close?
Not growing up, we
See
weren't
what I mean?
close
So that's what I mean. Like I
to
don't
a
even.
point.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
we
even.
fought a lot.
Me and my brother did too. It's just me and my brother.
Yeah,
My older sister died before I was born, so I don't. I don't know. It's just weird how you feel like you have this sense of family, but I didn't even have that shit. It's
yeah.
weird. Yeah,
I
all
mean,
right.
and it is weird, but I had that sense of family because I still would go see my grandparents and stuff like that, and it was just I liked that. I didn't get to see my sister all the time, and I didn't see my brother all the time because my brother lived with his father. So but when he was around, like him and I were closer. Me and my sister fought. I was mad at my sister for leaving
How
me,
old is
and
she? Is she older or younger than you?
she's older.
How much older?
She just turned 47.
So it's only a couple years older than you, 3 years older than you.
Yeah, and then my brother, he will
Was she physically abusive to you? Your sister?
no. No, we did get into a fight once. Our we had family mediation back then, and if we had issues, we had to go
What
outside
the
and
fuck
fight.
is that?
So if we were fighting, we would yell at each other, whatever.
No, but who
Then,
was doing the mediating?
oh, so what they did is my mom, my stepdad, my grandma would sit on a chair and tell us, okay, fight.
Mm.
And so we fought, and then I got grounded.
When you say your
So
grandma, is that your grandma from your stepdad's side or from your mom's side?
my mom's side.
You think that's a cultural thing? Like you go because you said your mom was Thai.
Oh no, so my okay, so my this is fun. You're gonna learn so much,
I am.
Kevin. Okay, so I have to fast forward real quick. When I was 20 and I had my first daughter, had my first child,
Hmm.
my husband at the time thought I was cheating on him because my daughter came out looking Asian. I then found out the man who we buried when I was 3 was not my father.
Oh shit. So
I
now
then
you're really
found out,
fucked up.
yeah,
I know, but you mourned over him. You were tortured over
I
him to
did.
see him in the
Yeah,
hospital, and then to
yeah,
find out that that motherfucker not even your real daddy. That's like,
Yes.
holy
Yes.
fuck.
After I had my child
That's
in the
terrible though.
delivery room.
Were you
It
mad
is.
at your mama?
Yes.
I would be too. I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? You
I
got me in
yelled at
trouble with my
her.
damn husband and shit because you didn't tell me the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your kid looked what? Asian?
Asian.
And you didn't know you were Asian.
No. I
What do
always
you think
got
you
made
were?
fun of.
Yeah, but
Well,
what?
I always got made fun of growing up by my brother, my sister, my uncle, my cousins, all that. They would tell me I looked Chinese. They told me I looked Indian. They were like, "We don't
That's
know
fucked
what
up.
you are." And they
You
even
a
told
mutt.
me the jokes. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, "You're adopted."
Oh fuck, that's fucked up. See, that's even
Yeah.
more fucked up.
I know. They used to tell me I was adopted and they used to not want to play with me. They're like, "You're not our."
But is your mom a Thai?
No, my mom was white.
Oh, so your mom was white, but she married a
Blonde hair,
Thai,
blue eyes.
but she got
She
pregnant
cheated
by.
on she cheated on her husband, the one that died, who I thought was my
Oh
father. She
shit,
cheated on him.
with the Thai guy.
Hmm.
That's a rhyme there, Thai guy. Oh shit, that's crazy. See, look at that. So damn, that's even more fucked up. That's good. Damn.
Oh, it's gonna get even
And your
better. I'm
mama still
telling you.
living?
Yes,
Man, we need to go fuck with your mama. Like, what the fuck?
I know. No, I tried to have this
It must
conversation
have
with
been the
her.
blue eyes. That's why your stepdaddy's still with us. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and shit.
I tell
What's
you
what's
this.
the ethnicity of your stepdad?
He was Irish and German. He
Oh,
was
so
Irish.
he was with another white. All right, gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
That's fucked up, man.
yeah.
Here you are,
I
your mom's blonde hair, blue eyed, and you look a little Asian or Hispanic, and everybody's like,
yeah,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah. And you know
So
what my
that's
mom
why
used
in
to tell
Georgia they
me?
thought you were adopted, probably too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And then my mama
Why
used
didn't
to
she
tell me
confess?
she didn't. She said she didn't know. I said, so you slept with both men? And she's all, and I
Shut
got pregnant. I
up.
didn't know who
What
was
the
my.
fuck? As soon as you
Yeah,
come
she
out
didn't
looking
know
Asian,
who.
you know that's bullshit. As soon as you pop out, like, oh,
Yeah,
no, come on, don't bullshit me. We're not.
yeah,
People aren't that damn dumb and shit.
yeah.
That's fucked
I
up.
just recently got baby pictures found from that side of the family they've been sending me. I was
Oh,
like,
you
how
have to
did you
send us
not
some so we can.
know?
Yeah, send some
I
of that to
will.
me so we can use it and stuff. I like
I
that.
will.
That's fucking crazy. All right, so I'm gonna ask you another question here. So, let's see. Can you share a memorable anecdote from your high school years that has had a lasting impact? So you know, you had a lot of hardships growing up. You said you had hardships as a teenager. You graduated from Modesto, but was there anything in high school? You know, because you said you didn't have friends, but was there anything in high school that stood out that made you want to become a nurse, or
So
anything
I
that's
actually
memorable that was a positive in your high school years?
so one so in kindergarten, I knew I wanted to be a nurse when we were doing Christmas caroling at the skilled nursing facility across the street. I loved it. I loved the skilled nursing. And so I was like, I want to be here. I want to hang out with all
Well,
of them.
you said you did Christmas caroling at the nursing home?
Uh-huh.
You could sing?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. But in high school, I thought I wanted to be like I took FFA, I was packing mules, I loved biology, I loved
Mm,
anatomy. It was amazing. But I thought I wanted to be an architect in high school.
well, you
And
could have
then
been.
I I made a friend Belinda, and this was up at Sonora High. I had shared some stories, some past things with my friend Belinda. She's the only girl I really stayed her at her house. And I shared something that happened to me, some a traumatic event that had happened with one of my uncles. And
Are we gonna get into that?
yeah.
Okay. I don't want to touch anything that's
No.
uncomfortable though. All
Oh,
right.
nothing's
All right.
uncomfortable, trust me. We're good. Um I had let her know about me being molested
Mm.
and from 3 to 12.
Most women,
And
there's 1 out of every 5 women are raped, and most of the time it's often by
yep,
a family member, somebody you know. That's right.
yep. So, what impacted me is that I told her not to say anything, but she told the counselor.
Of course, because you know.
And that was huge for me
Did you
because
break your trust?
no, it didn't. It
Mm.
didn't. At first, I was angry because I was like, why would you tell? I had already confronted the family about it in Georgia before
Hmm.
we moved, and I was
Was this a
slapped in the
white? This a
face.
white family member?
Yes.
Motherfucking country ass wanna fuck their cousins and shit.
Yeah.
At
And
least you ain't growing up in Chowchilla.
right. Right. So so she told the counselor, and they sent CPS, of course, came and talked to me, and they sent a sheriff to my house to arrest him. And my family, my mom and my grandma had hid him underneath
What the fuck?
the storage. Yeah.
So your mama knew about this,
Yes.
and she wanted to hide him instead of punishing him.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it made me very angry, because how did you allow a man who was hurting me in your own home, and you were forcing me to go with all the
And your mom's
time
supposed to do what? What's your mama's job?
to protect me?
So why do you think she did that? What was the rationale and purpose behind it? Have you asked her that?
I have. And she gets very defensive and says, I know, I'm just a bad mom. I'm just a bad mom.
Oh, so she's
Yeah.
deflecting her emotions and won't face it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Is that
Yeah.
guy still alive?
Yes.
Is he in prison or free?
No, he's free. They made
That's
me
fucked
tell
up.
the police, they made me tell CPS that I lied,
Your
and
mama
all of
did.
that. Hmm.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
You
crazy,
want to know
right?
what else? Later
Yeah, good.
on, at 20, almost 21, I took in his four stepdaughters, and I ended up adopting them to protect them.
That's craziness, huh? Was
Yeah.
he trying to? You said his stepdaughters,
Yeah.
so he was trying to do the same thing to them.
We weren't sure, and we still don't know, but I adopted the
Okay, but
older four.
but is there nobody in your family that can do things to take care of this issue? There's no men
No.
in your life that could take care of this issue once and for
No.
all.
No.
Because if anybody did that to my kids, we'd have to take a trip to Arizona desert or somewhere and shit. Because that's
Mhm.
craziness. Like I don't get
Take
that
it to
shit.
the train
That's
station. I don't know if you watch
oh,
Yellowstone,
that's
but
right. Just like on Yellowstone, take them to the train station. We're going to the train station. I know, but it's crazy because that's one thing I
it
can't
is.
stand is
Yeah.
why do you got to fuck with kids and shit? I don't get that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we'll
that's
dive
fucked
more
up.
into that, because there's a lot that I'm even more so dealing with in regards to that.
All right, well, that's a perfect place to let off. So we're gonna end here for our episode one of our mini series with. Tell me, don't be making me mad, Alicia.
Alicia,
Tr- Alicia, see, but
Alicia.
it's not fucking spelled that way.
That's my mama's fault.
It's spelled Alicia. That's Alicia, not fucking
Yes.
Alicia. Tresider, Tresider,
Tresider.
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 That's
Hmm.
your fucking husband's fault.
Yeah.
Tresider, Alicia.
Tresider.
One more time. Say it one more time.
Alicia Tresider.
Alicia Tresider.
There you go.
All right, so we're gonna end right here, and hopefully you guys come back for part two because there's gonna be at least four parts now because this is good. I like this shit. All right, bitches. We appreciate you joining us on Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. Remember, this is episode one, or this is part one of the episode with Alicia Tresider. All right, bitches.
Ooh, look at you.
All right, you have a good day.